This is a special report from WMBD News.
Well, we turn now to a special report that we did mention earlier.
We're a little less than 1 month away from the primary election, and campaign ads are coming out left and right. And it's no different in the Illinois GOP gubernatorial election.
Tuesday night, WMBD's Matt Sheehan investigated claims against Richard Irvin made by the Democratic Governors Association. Now he's looking into claims made by Irvin against two of his opponents.
Republicans are facing an uphill battle this election cycle. 4 years ago, Governor J.B. Pritzker beat out GOP incumbent Governor Bruce Rauner. Now candidates have to prove to the Republican voting base that they truly represent conservative values. But they also have to get a lot of the moderate voters as well.
One of the most reoccurring campaign ads seen across TV screens in Illinois is from GOP gubernatorial candidate Richard Irvin. Irvin's ad can be seen attacking Jesse Sullivan and Darren Bailey, calling them Obama supporters. This is because Bailey pulled a Democratic primary ballot in 2008. Bailey tells me this was part of Rush Limbaugh's Operation Chaos.
I decided to go along with that, to pull a Democrat ballot, the only time in my life that I've ever done that. And you were supposed to kind of mix the vote up to mess things up for Obama at the time, who was rising fast. So yes, that comment is grossly taken out of a context.
Just this week, Bailey released another campaign ad saying Irvin voted for Obama, supported Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and called Governor Pritzker a, quote, great friend and great leader. I asked the Irvin campaign if he voted for Obama or stood by the other two comments to this day. Their response was no. Sullivan's camp claims he's, quote, never pulled a Democratic ballot in a primary, saying Illinoisans are, quote, smart enough to take Richard Irvin's lying mailers and throw them straight in the trash can where they belong, end quote, adding Sullivan is a, quote, proud conservative no matter what lies other candidates say about him. While Irvin is trying to put the spotlight on his opponents, he's not talking about his own voting record, like how he's pulled a Democratic ticket in 6 out of the last 7 primary elections, most recently in 2021, and oldest file on record back in 2012. Both Bailey and Sullivan have called Irvin out for not coming clean on issues like the Second Amendment, abortion rights, and his voting history.
It's absolutely appalling that this man himself will not answer the question of who he voted for.
Irvin won't answer whether or not he voted for Donald Trump in 2020.
It's worth asking, did you vote for Donald Trump in 2020?
Listen, that's exactly what J.B. Pritzker wants us to talk about. He wants to be talking about anything but his record in the state.
I spoke with Dr. Megan Remmel, an assistant professor of political science at Bradley University, who explains why Irvin's ad against Bailey and Sullivan is specifically targeted towards the primary election.
The candidates are still using President Obama as kind of a boogeyman to appeal to the voters that they think are most likely to show up.
Dr. Remmel says to first, take everything you hear with a grain of salt, and second, do your own research.
Generally, they will source their information. Now, it may be in little itty bitty fine print at the bottom, so you may not catch it while you're immediately watching it on TV, but all of these ads are online. You can pull up the ad, find the source, and then actually track back to the source and maybe get a more realistic idea of what that piece of information means.
This isn't the first time we've seen this tactic used. It's not even the first time in Illinois. Back in 2018, the Democratic Governors Association ran an ad against gubernatorial candidate Jeannie Ives, calling her, quote, too conservative for Illinois, while running a separate ad attacking former Governor Bruce Rauner. We'll never know how Ives versus Pritzker would have panned out, but we do know Pritzker beat Rauner in the general election by nearly 16 points. Reporting for your local election headquarters, I'm Matt Sheehan.